Hi everyone, Ted from LTM. Simply, as I was doing some research today and I came across this video on CNBC, it got me thinking about the 4% rule. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about the 4% rule that talks about the retirement withdrawal. Normally, an average person can withdraw 4% and subsequent for 30 years and they will not run out of money. And if you keep looking down, I was searching, right? How long the 4%, how long will the money last? You got Charles Schwab talks about it. You got Investopia. I mean, Forbes talks about it. Prudential talks about it. And most of these places, are either insurance companies or financial firms. So my thinking was, can you withdraw 10% and maybe not run out of money? And most of the people do not like to take that chance. They like to have some type of security so they can feel safe. So then I started doing my own little research. Again, this is for my personal educational purpose. This is my opinion. Please check with your financial advisor. I don't want you guys to quit your job, have a $300,000 and think you can withdraw 10% because maybe in 5 years you might run out of money. I'm just saying. I wanted to put that out there. So let's just watch this video first to see what the guy talks about the future markets. And then I'm going to show you my calculator, how I came up with maybe withdrawing 10% and see how it plays out.
But over the next 10 years, we don't know what the sky is the limit, right? Because what you're seeing now is that this big technological revolution that we're having is going to affect everything. And there's going to be massive winners and massive losers. A lot of the stocks that you just mentioned were the biggest losers last year. So not only were they short, nobody was expecting the news to change in such a favorable way. So we had, we went from the four T's being, technology, trillions, tax policy and innovation, right, to the three B's this year, which basically Bitcoin is the best performer. We have big tech, and also those big tech companies have had the strongest balance sheets. And that's where people went to hide when we had the blow up in Silicon Valley Bank. They all went to the high liquidity stocks with big balance sheets. And that's what we've seen. We've seen the small caps and the mid caps basically flat on the year because they actually were expecting a recession over a year ago that never appeared.
So what he's saying pretty much has completely transformed. I'm sorry, guys. So what he's saying is, what if we have a better than expected the next 10 years? What if we gain 10, 15, 20% rather than panicking and thinking we're going to get a minus 20, 30%? So I ran some numbers, right? I went into my website, and here under tools, you can find some of the calculators that I normally use. So then I put some numbers in this amazing calculator. It's called, where is it? I'm sorry. Fire. Right here. FireCalc. So I put some numbers here. So I said, let's say you have $300,000 and you want to spend $30,000 a year, right? 300,000, 10%, that's 30,000 a year. And instead of putting 30 years, I'm going to put 10 years. Doesn't mean that you're going to live 10 years or live 30 years. No one knows that. I just wanted to run some numbers. So I hit submit. Okay, so what it says here is your spending in every year after first year will be adjusted for inflation. So the spending power is preserved. So they're calculating the inflation here. You have, right, 31 cycles failed. So how many cycles were? There were 143 cycles, so 31 cycles failed, which gives it a success rate of 78%. So see right here, you started with 300,000. So 300,000 is somewhere here, right? Looks like the cycles that failed, as you can see here, is a $0 mark. They all go okay, I guess, for the first 6.5 years. So let's say you're a 65-year-old, then you want your money to last for 30 years, but you're not going to withdraw $30,000 when the market is down, right? You're just going to draw $30,000 when the market is giving you that 10, 15, 20%. That's a start. The second thing is, what if the market for the next 10 years goes up? What do you do? Do you work in a job because the calculation is saying that you need to work whatever 10 more years so you can have 600,000 or 700,000, so that way you don't run out of money by use the 4% rule? This is the things with the calculations and all the information that's out there is putting this fear about the 4% rule based on the calculations that the system shows that it's a possibility that you don't run out of money after 30 years, or it's a very good chance. Again, going back to safety and security. My concern with this is, how do we know what the next 10, 15, 20 years is going to bring? We don't. That's why I never liked this idea of the 4% rule or 3% rule or 5% rule. If the market is doing well, why not just utilize it? Here's another tool that I used that I found in my calculator that I have it. Let's say you have $300,000, right? And you put in $27.50 per month. That's 11%. So you are gaining 11% the year that you are calculating this. All right. So what do we see here? It says here your money will continue past 30 years. How is that possible? Well, the system is saying that every year you're going to gain 11%. That's crazy. How do you know you're going to gain 11% each year? So according to this, let's say you are paying no taxes, you're in a very low tax bracket or the standard deductions, or is your capital gain. So you're paying no taxes, you gain 33,000, you withdrew 33,000, and your 300,000, this is not calculated for inflation, but your 300,000 continues to. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, 300,000 in year 1, in year 15 the inflation is going to eat it up, which is truly understandable. We're not just talking about having calculated for inflation. This is strictly about the 11% gains each year, what will get you. Now let's go back here and make a tweak. And the tweak is, instead of having 11%, why don't we try 10%? Now, why did I put 10%? I put 10% because most of the financial advisors, the minimum they charge is 1%. So now let's say you have 300,000, 10% gains. Wow, here goes your 30 years. Now it's down to 24. Again, this doesn't mean anything because no way you're going to get 10% guarantee each year. But I just wanted to say that 1% difference, it makes a huge returns in the long run. And if you look at the results, in year number 1, instead of 11%, 10% brings it down to 29,000. But as years go down, you no longer have 300,000. It continues to drop year after year, and in the year 24, you pretty much deplete the full amount. So what this pretty much means that 1% is a huge difference in the long run. And then you have ads like annuity, 8.5%, and all this marketing, because first they start with the 4% rule. They give people fear, and now they're telling them, oh no, you can gain this much or you can do this much. I had no idea this is going to pop up, but while it's there, why not just talk about it, right? Going back here now to the 4% rule, what do you do? Do you just stay in a job and just withdraw only 4% of your investments? And this is my opinion. Again, this is strictly my opinion. The years that you are gaining a lot. So for example, if you have 300,000, right? In 2019, you gained 28.88%. What do you do? Well, it's very easy. We can't go back now, but let's say, right? 300,000 times, what was the amount? 28.88. 28 0.88 gives us